ActionFigureResource.com.
This is a top 10 Batman villains action figure countdown for Action Figure Resource, as requested by one of our viewers. So as a side note, give us your requests. We can't promise we'll do every single one of them, but we do listen. Now, The Dark Knight has maybe the most impressive rogues gallery of any caped hero. He's been going since 1933, and our 10 picks are a selection from the recurring favourites with a few new faces thrown into the mix. At 10 from the original 1989 movie and made by Toy Biz, it's Bob the Goon. Now, it's hard to describe what a turning point this year was to both Batman on the big and soon-to-be small screen, in comics and in toys, but that moment is exemplified in this crudely sculpted figure who belongs only to that film. He's not a great figure, in fact you could argue he's one of the very worst Batman figures ever, but he's absolutely of this time and no other. At 9 from The Batman, the animated series that came after Justice League Unlimited, it's the Riddler. All of these characters originated from concepts by comic artist Jeff Matsuda, and he seems to have given Edward Nygma a sinister Marilyn Manson look. From the super stylized Legends of the Dark Knight, our number 8 is Dr. Kurt Landstrom, the Man-Bat. Usually mid-1990s toys look awful by today's standards, but these seem to have taken a leaf out of McFarlane's Spawn series. At number 7, from Mattel's equivalent to the Marvel Legends line, DC Universe Classics, it's Mr. Freeze. Somehow this manages to subtly evoke Arnold Schwarzenegger's version of the Frosty Doctor in a cool and striking way. Now, Harley Quinn and Killer Croc couldn't get on this list as they were already on our top 10 Batman figures lineup. But you should check out that video as well, as it's equally compelling. At number 6 from the DC Signature Collection is a character notoriously difficult to balance. Most of the time she's too much of a sex object or just looks plain crazy, but here Poison Ivy has never looked more deadly and determined. At 5 from Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight trilogy is the Tom Hardy incarnation of Bane that rivals the classic back-breaking luchador in terms of iconic realization. This is from Hot Toys, so once again we're looking at an exquisite high-end collectible in 1/6 scale. At 4 from the DC Multiverse line, this is the vinyl-clad Michelle Pfeiffer version of Catwoman from Batman Returns. Part of the reason so many newly sculpted screen-accurate examples of old movies are turning up as favourites is what we had to put up with back in the day. At 3, representing one of the finest contemporary Batman stories in comics, written by Scott Snyder and representing here the artwork of Greg Capullo, this is one of the terrifying Talons from the Court of Owls. These guys have been behind the walls and hiding in the shadows of Gotham for decades, and Batman has only just found out. I urge you all to read this book. At 2, it was one of the hardest jobs in the world to pick the best Joker, but PlayArt's Kai managed to swing the deal here with their rendering of his appearance in the Arkham video games. All of the charm of the animated series version, but this time, Mark Hamill gets to really cut loose, and this glorified figure captures the spindly operatic insanity of the Clown Prince of Crime. And finally at number 1, that Joker was immensely tough to beat, but the winner had to be from the new line of animated series figures, absolutely destroying all the competition by realising the imagery captured on the classic show in a way Kenner just wasn't able to achieve back in 1992. The reason we chose Two-Face was that this is a very distinct look for him, chosen only for the Bruce Timm show, which makes this emblematic of that undying triumph of an animated series and the simple but effective design ethic applied to these unforgettable characters. We'll be back with more top 10s. Be sure to check out the Batman Collector Guide, and of course leave your own personal Bat-Villain top 10s in the comments, along with suggestions for more future lists we can do. I've been Alex Shaw for Action Figure Resource.